G'day everyone, how is everyone going? Hold a second, I've got the second microphone going. I didn't really want that to happen, but I'll try and just get that one anyway. So sorry if there is an echo. I'll have a look at if I can get that rid of this at the moment, so I can try and get it. Anyway, so I'm just setting up a second camera here just to try and get this thing working here. Now, what I've got here, we'll just have a little bit of chat because we did have quite a bit of announcement from Apple, didn't we? It was a few things. I know they're talking about the iPhone, the iOS updates, as well as the Mac OS, but really, I just want to concentrate on the hardware side of things, and that is they bring out the new M2 chip finally, and it's going to be housed in, of course, the Mac Air and also the Mac Pro as well. Oh, sorry, I should call them correctly in their names: MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, because the Mac Pro is a complete different piece anyway. Anyway, so MacBook Air, let's just concentrate on that one first. And I was actually surprised by what they were doing with it. So first, I'm not surprised by the different shape. If for those who have not seen the shape, I'm just going to bring that up for you so I have a look at. So let's see if I can bring up the share screen. No, I don't want share screen. I want a window. This one here. That's what I want. So, oh, there we go. So what they brought out was this little Mac Air. Now, this Mac Air is going to be very similar shape to the Mac Pro, with the sort of not completely circular shape. It'll be more closer to the MacBook Pro, like last year, 14-inch and the 16-inch, where we've got a little bit more squarish type. G'day, Andy. How are you doing? Although I might do something a little bit different this tonight. And g'day for you as well too. And for those around the world, might be evening or morning or daytime. All right. So I was not completely surprised. I was still surprised though by the actual shape of it. It's no longer that really nice thin, even though they claim it more thinner. I think it's going to be more even than before, because that had a bit of a taper towards the front of the display. Now, getting along the sides, besides all of that, I see they have a notch here. After I actually now use my MacBook Pro 50% of the time compared to my Windows computer. Before I was just using my Windows computer. I'm back on Mac for half my time now. And I have had the notch, and I don't find it that annoying at all. So for me, for those who are running Mac OS, I think you'll be pretty comfortable with the notch there. It's actually quite an okay place where they've actually placed it in. So the notch there, we've got added in. The ports are still the same. I like to see them put maybe an SD card reader for those people who like to use SD card, just to add more memory if you want. That'd be nice to see if they can do something like that, as I think they do have capability to do it in a way. Still only got the two Thunderbolt 4 ports, and we've got the headphone jack. At least they've kept the headphone jack, which is kind of good. But again, we're all about the M2. Now, g'day, Mohammed. How are you, dude? Mohammed. I hope I got it right. Thank you for joining me. Now, again, the M2 chip, they did put a few numbers out there, but I was just they really just see if I can get through some of these things. I've got through a few things anyway. Oh yeah, the MagSafe. That's good to see they brought it back, so which means you can still charge the computer. I'm very sure you can still charge the MacBook Air with the USB Type-C ports, so they'll be fine. And then you can add the extra charge if you want. So no longer you'd have to sacrifice one of those for charging anyway. So that's good for those people who don't really run docking stations. I do run docking stations. Here we go. This is what I want to say. Now, they say 1.4 times. So in other words, that's about 40%. So anywhere between 25 to 40% quicker in performance compared to the M1 model, which it's amazing chip, I've got to say. But they also have the M1 Pro, M1 Ultra, and also M1 Max as well too, which again brings it up. So they didn't really give us numbers to actually compare against those M1 Pro or M1 Max or M1 Ultra. So they really kept it, which is fine, because this is in a performance, well, not performance, ultralight. Now that I'll talk about later. I call it a lightweight laptop for that one there, because we really are after the numbers to see the performance. They have increased the performance, but they also really haven't increased the battery life. Now, that was a bit interesting to see. The battery life was sitting around at the 18 hours. It is all day, so that's great, because there's one good thing about the Apple MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros. I believe their numbers on the 18 hours is true blue there. So I run the MacBook Pro, and I have to say I'm blown by the battery life on it. So that is really, really good. Now, with the new processor, M2 processor, they say it's more efficient than the previous, but it's still only maintaining the 18 hours. Now, the reason more for likely for that is because of a new display. I'm just see if they talk about the new display here. It's now a liquid retina display instead of a retina display, whatever. Here it is. This is about something like that. Liquid retina display, but what they've done is increase the brightness to about 500 nits of brightness. So the 500 nit brightness is probably going to sacrifice a bit of the battery life, and that's probably a reason why we see that. Now, again, it's going to have new Butte professional, actually quite high P3 color gamut coverage that it says, and most Apple screens are absolutely gorgeous for color anyway. So that I don't have to say anything about that. But I do want to bring up back to one thing besides the performance array. So I'm not going to talk too much about performance because we don't even know what it is exactly, because we get these weird numbers that they talk. Actually, I might as well talk about one number though, and that is they talk about the 18 hours on. Where is it? Don't think it's actually here, but in the slides where you do look at the keynotes, they were talking about, let's see if I can bring that up, 18 hours of video playback. Now, video playback was against, they actually did a comparison with an Intel website. Now, I've also have been in some AMD, and they have boasted up to about 24 to 29 hours of video playback. So we don't know, because I haven't actually got AMD yet in the mobile 6000 chips yet. So it would be nice to see how power efficient that is compared to the Apple M2. But that's one thing I want to say about. But the one other thing last thing I want to mention about is, see if I can bring it back here. Is it right here? Oh, it's right here. I saw it before, and it's about the weight. And the weight, it's way back up here. It must be way back here. I had to actually go from pounds because they worked on pounds, and I was like, oh, I don't work in pounds. Here you go. And luckily we got a strain. It's about 1.24 kilos. Now, back when they released the MacBook Air, that was stupidly light back then in those days. Now it was probably, oh God, I don't even remember how long that was ago, but that was quite a long time ago. And these days, I've tested a few laptops that are now a kilo or sub a kilo, and that is now probably the ultralights now, what I would call ultralights, and they're actually quite nice. Now, seeing the 1.2 kilos, and this is the MacBook Air, supposedly meant to be their lightest MacBook. I find this is quite heavy. I would expect them to probably bring this weight down to maybe about 1.1 or even 1 kilos. That's what I thought. Even though they are running aluminium in Australia, we call it, but I still think they can still bring that weight down. So 1.2 is what I now consider a heavy ultralight laptop for what I would consider, because we've seen more lighter laptops from a lot of the manufacturers like Lenovo. I think Dell hasn't come up yet. I know Asus has got it. I know Toshiba's got it. Fujitsu's got it. HP has got it. So that is something I'd like to see them improve, is the weight for the MacBook Air. So that is a bit of a thing. It could be due to the battery being larger for it than anything else, but we'll find out. But so yes. G'day Maha, and g'day Aria. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. It's been a while since I've seen Aria back on. I know I haven't been streaming at this sort of time, but I'm just doing it anyway. That's all I really want to talk about the MacBook Air. Now, again, the MacBook Pro is, I don't even know what the price is, because let's have a look. Let's have a look at the price anyway. The price here in Australia with M2, you're starting at pretty much $1,900. Now, I've also looked at their MacBook Pro, which is the new MacBook Pro, which is the 13-inch. So the 13-inch does contain the M2. Now that one is starting at only about an extra $100 more. Now for that extra $100 more, you get a fan. Supposedly you can get sustained more, but truthfully, I've played with the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro in the first generation, and truthfully, there's no point of going for the MacBook Pro unless you want the ports, and they do give you the extra ports here. Now with this one here, they didn't talk anything much about that in the keynotes. They really just, I don't even know what ports they've got. Let's have a look. I'm a little bit curious on what kind of ports. They didn't even show the ports. That's great. It's kind of hard. I'm taking a guess it's only got, it's only still got 2 Thunderbolt ports. What's the point? So all they've done really is give you a touch bar, which is absolutely garbage most of the time. I think I've said that many times in the previous streams, that I find that the touch bar was not really that useful, and you get the same amount of ports. So I would say for $100 more, just keep with the MacBook Air. Then if you get more ports, then that's fair enough, but no extra ports, just stick with the MacBook Air. That's what I've got something that someone's asked there. Now, do you do animation videos on technology so that viewers can understand easily? I don't actually do animation for that. Sorry, I used to do a little bit, but I haven't really concentrated anything to do with animations anymore. So I don't really run on Maya anymore, or Lightwave is what I used to use as well too. But I don't do any animations for that. I'm sorry, but I do understand the physics and all the theory behind it. I just don't really practice it, unfortunately. So that's for the 3D stuff, anyways. But animations 2D, I don't really do for that one there. But if you've got a question about it, shoot away, and I might be able to answer, or someone on chat might be able to help you out as well too, or we can discuss it together even in the things. But anyway, so that's Apple there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, let me just remove that one there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a very cool thing that Dell has put out. Now, this is a bit of a new thing. I don't know much people know about it, and it's for your mobile phone. It's an app that they've actually sent out, produced. They started this near the start of COVID, and they just hurried it through because of the fact that COVID. And that is an app called Dell AR Assist. I don't have got it here, but I'll just see if I can type it out so if you guys can have a look what it is. Dell AR Assist. And this is more for your mobile phone, and this is for something. Yeah, I'll just see if I can bring this up to show you what this kind of is. I'll just see if I can share this screen now. Now, this Dell AR Assist, they have got for Android, also for iOS. Now, this is to help you fix your computer or upgrade your computer when you don't have a Dell tech. Now, this is absolutely fantastic. It runs off the AR technology on your mobile phone to help you with these things. Now, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration because I had a little play with it. And it's kind of cool to see how that runs. It also gives you a bit of, it's to try and self-help yourself while you don't have to have a Dell technician to come out. If they may be able to send out parts for you, or it's even good for enterprise IT people to actually take these things about when we're doing diagnostic or trying to fix these things anyway. So I'm going to just show you this demonstration for you. So let me just remove this website, and I will bring in this one here. Well, I actually need to have this camera here, so this one here. All right, see if I got this one here. There we go. We've got this on stream, so let me bring this in. All right, give me a second. I'll just bring this. Okay, well, I'm going to remove myself from here, so you guys. Sorry, I've got to bring myself in here, but I'm going to. Nope, I'm just going to see if I can bring in. Sorry, I'm just going to play around with. I don't want this one. I want this one as the bigger one. Solo layout. Nope. Okay, you guys can hear me? Yep, cool. Awesome. All right. So I'm just going to show this. This is the app itself. All right. And at the moment, I've got a latitude 4501, but they don't actually have that on here. So I've got the closest one, which is 5400. I'm going to go next. This is kind of cool to see what we're going to do. So, sorry, my phone is a bit slow, but we're going to have a look at what we're going to do. All right, so let's say we want to do, let's do a, I think I saw, okay, let's do a power adapter port. Oh no, a power button replacement. If we had something wrong with it, power button replacement. Okay, it shows you next if that's the part that's correct. It matches. Tells you the gear that you need, and then it tells you, goes through your hinge sides and how to actually do it. Now I'm just going to sort of go through the safety precautions, the legal requirements. Okay, now it gives you a bit of, whoops, sorry, I'll go through this way. Shows you kind of how you do it by video, but I'm going to show you. This is kind of cool. So we're going to load this as HR. So let me see if I can just, sorry, my phone is slow. Give me this. Come on. We'll get there. This is more to do with my phone, and also to do the app. But this is the very first part of the app. And it's come on. Let's get this going. Well, there you go. That crashed that, didn't it? Let's get through this next part. Let's agree. I just want to go through showing this AR part, show you how to actually do this. Or maybe have to reopen this application again. Come on. Okay. Let me reboot this application. My phone is probably, I was just getting this set up before the stream, and it might have crashed. This is something I'm going to give a bit of a report back to Apple. Okay, let's go through. This is Dell Technology here. We'll do a run it second time round. Choose your system. So you got a whole bunch of, they're going to continue add more systems for it, so you can actually work this out for these technical manuals. 50401, that's the one I want. Next. All right. And while this is loading out, I was just talking to you something. So they also announced today the 2 new computers that they're bringing out. So they've got the Inspiron 16. Again, that's probably very similar to the Precision 16. Oh, sorry, yes, Precision 16 inch. And also they brought out the new Dell Precision 5820. I think it was. Give me a second. I'll have a look on my website, on my emails again. But let me just, okay, PowerPoint. Let's just do that anyway. So next, agree to all that fun stuff. All right, cool. So you got what we got to do. And okay, here we go. Now I was going to try if I can match this away. Now, sorry, I might bring this up a little higher. Oh, it's not really liking that. Okay, let me bring up my camera, my second camera higher, just to help you guys out, because it's probably not it. Okay, it looks like it needs to be on an angle, doesn't it? Well, that's not exactly, is it? But let's keep going anyway. So that's not a good demo. Let me see if I can try and get. Dell might actually help me fix this up. But we've got to do the screws. I'll just tell the next. Tells you exactly how to do them. Start prying it open, and then lift it up. I've done all that anyway, so let's just move that out of the way. Okay. All right, so it tells you've got to move the battery cable. Now, unfortunately, this is not exact where it is, because this is a 5401, which does kind of share the same chassis, but it's not really detecting it. So I'm going to give them a bit of feedback on this. But the idea is still to try and help you go through this. But at least they kind of give you a video on how to do it, each part. And then you go to the next step, which is basically removing the power port. So if I can get this thing aligned, that's the problem, is trying to get this aligned. Okay, it tells me the power port is right over to the right. Yeah, so that's a good idea to see where it is, and kind of nice to see. Okay, we've got to take out two screws and then lift it out. So that's kind of cool. That kind of does follow it. So this is how it should be working, as you can see down here. So that's kind of cool. Everyone just tell you what you got to do. So nice way of doing things. There, it's a new thing. Let me bring that away. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool what they're trying to do. It's a bit buggy. It is the first iteration. I'm just going to give them feedback to it, but I think it's kind of cool. That might actually help a lot of people out on trying to bring or either fix or open up Dell computers. And I love the idea that they're at least thinking about things like that. And I'm just going to remove this one to stream because we'll just kick down ours from studio. Okay, there we go. So stop, hopefully, the echoing. Now, I think that's great to see that at least Dell is trying to work things to help with working from home or even trying to alleviate some of the pain that we might get from these computers if we're trying to fix the computers. I think that's absolutely fantastic that Dell's at least trying something. It might not be at the moment perfect, but we're going to let it work it out with some bug fixes and things like that anyway. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that for the idea. Oh, sorry, I've got through that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to show you guys for that. Oh yeah, I was going to see what was the precision that was kind of announced today. Hopefully I'll be able to get one in. So let me have a look at what that was. It was the Dell Precision 7865 tower. Okay, that's going to be fun to see. Hopefully I'll be able to get this on my channel. So this is going to be a big of a whopper. I am 65. 65 is a funny number, isn't it? 65, which means, hey, I think I might know what the 65 is. 65, the 5 number at the back is usually for desktop computers, AMD. All right, let me give a quick squizzle on this. I want to have a look at the spec sheet on this. Let me have a look. I am interested. I am completely right. 65. It is what I was told about this earlier. So now I can actually talk about it now. So this is cool. Let me see if I can bring up a web page about it. And let me share my screen. Give me a second. Let me move this across. This is going to be cool, you guys, because this is something that I hold dearly to my heart. Now, let me remove that one away. Stop that screen, and I'll share this screen. So give me a second. Which one is it? This one here. Is that coming through? There we go. What do we got? 7865. Another Threadripper Pro. Fantastic. So Dell has now finally got in their business line an AMD computer now. And it's a Threadripper Pro. So this should be, I'm hoping this one should be, I can't read it on that one site. So this one should be their newest one, which is I'm taking, yes, this should be the Threadripper. I'm reading this as I'm reading this with you because I've been filming all day, so I haven't had time. I just know there is. It should be the new Threadripper 2 for this one here. So running the Ryzen 6000, or sorry, not Ryzen 6000, Threadripper with the Zen 3 for that one there. So now we've got 2 OEMs with the Threadripper Pros. Besides Lenovo, we've now got Dell enter the game because this is something because Lenovo had pretty much 1 year of sole exclusivity to this Threadripper Pro. Now we've got Dell finally joining in. So this is exciting to see. As you can see, it can go up to 64 cores. And we've got 1 terabyte of DDR4 ECC RAM. And it can house also the W6800. That's Radeon Pro. I've done a review on that one there. And we've got the RTX A's up to A6000 if you want NVIDIA style. That's fantastic to see. And look at that. Look at that. That does look good too, isn't it? It doesn't look that amazing, crazy big, but hoo-hoo. I love that. Love it. Love it. So I'm excited to see this. I was wondering when this was coming out because I heard about this a while ago. But I was wondering when it came out, and now it's finally come out. Anyway, I'm not a fan of fanless MacBook Air. I had a 2018 version that had a fan and had a better thermals. Actually, was that the one that was not connected to anything? They did have a MacBook Air. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like A1008 or something. I can't remember. That had a fan in there, and it wasn't even connected to anything. It wasn't even connected to the heatsink where it should be. Anyway, it just had a fan for the sake of having a fan. But I know, to be truthful, the M1 is not that crazy hot. Now I have ran some things on it on MacBook Pro, and it does run a little warm sometimes, but not like crazy warm like some of those Windows computers. I would say probably only around about 36 degrees or so, just only slightly warmer than my hand and way for it. So I don't know. It's good to have the fan, but I don't think you really need it. And if you can control the fan, which you can control, if you can get apps to control the fan, it's all right. But yeah, I don't know. I think it may not need it. It's doing pretty well. The ARM chips are doing pretty well in a way. So yes. Dell Precision 7670 is available offline. When will you review it? Actually, I'm still waiting for it. Actually, I'm still waiting. I've been chasing a little bit of it. I haven't just got nothing from Dell for the shipment for it. So I'm waiting for a production model to actually have a play with. So I'm sorry if it's taking a little bit of time there, but hopefully I'll get my hands on it sometime very soon. But yes, same with this Precision. I don't expect this Precision tower coming probably another 3 to 4 months anyway. But I'll ask people around, see if I can get my hands on one of these things anyway, for it anyway. But no, that's just some really nice, amazing news that hopefully would be useful for some of you guys here. But yeah, the 7670 is going to be pretty cool. I think that will be cool to see the 16-inch. As I'm actually reviewing a 16-inch now. Where is that? That was the where is it? It's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's all down there. The TravelMate 16-inch. And I'm actually liking the 16 inches. It is a really nice blend of 15-inch and the 17-inch, being 17 too long. But a lot of those 16 inches are actually having the aspect ratio of 16 by 10. And I'm liking the display on that. I don't know how the professionals who do run the 16, sorry, not 16, the 16 by 9, how they will like to go move towards the 16 by 10. For me, I'm actually liking it because I don't really run those 16 by 10. Although sometimes you do get these spacing when you're doing multimedia, like when you're consuming multi-year, but that's all right. Something I can sacrifice. And you can also zoom in, is what I do as well too. For it, which you do see sometimes in my review videos, I do try and zoom in just to fill up the screen, just so you guys can see the full screen in a way. But no, it's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's all I've really got for tonight. If you guys got any more questions for me, if not, I'm gonna call it a night and back to filming as I always would do. I'll just give a few more seconds there now. So also, I'm not. Asus has got some cool new things while we're at it soon, but that's more in the gaming line. So be sure to check that out sometime very soon. I'll announce that when I'm around. But Asus have got some pretty cool, nifty things as well. For the gaming line, which I have got once before, but I think you should keep an eye out because I've got some very cool products anyway. All right, looks like we've got no one there. Anyway, I would like to say have a great evening, have a great day, or have a great afternoon. And thank you very much for joining me and supporting my channel. And again, as always, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. And I'll catch you guys in the next stream. See you guys.